What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Insurrection Inc. podcast. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the show.
You know, nothing really interesting has been happening lately, but before we start, it's a shame that Porter is not with us anymore, but I do have a eulogy for him. So for those that don't follow us on Twitter, something really fucked up happened recently, and that is Porter got a permanent ban on Twitter. So he is no longer with us, and it pains me. He was a very close friend. I would say, right? You would say he was a very close friend.
Very, very close. Closer than most viewers would probably think.
Yeah. You know, we've had our joking feuds on air, and we've thrown insults back and forth at each other, but at the end of the day, Porter was a very near and dear friend. So to see him die at the hands of Jack, really, it's put me in a weird mood this last week. I don't know. I'm going to keeping on because that's what he will want from us, but I did prepare a eulogy in his honor. Are you ready for it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
We're all gathered here today to honor the memory of @MindYourExcuses. Porter was far from a kind soul, but he was a God-fearing account, one that kept Jesus in his heart with every tweet. Whether it was honoring the rights of man by telling women on the internet that he hopes their grandma dies of COVID, or vowing to stay off his personal Instagram after South Carolina passed a bill limiting the term of abortion to 6 weeks, he was there to honor the Holy Trinity and put a smile on our faces. He had many enemies and almost as many friends, which is the mark of a truly powerful and worldwide Twitter account. His enemies were too many to enumerate, from e-girls and e-whores and their simp orbiters to communist and conservatives alike. But it wasn't until he crossed Jack in which his fate was sealed. He died a martyr for the cause, losing almost 1,000 followers and a viral tweet with over 4,000 likes. He shall forever be remembered as a hero, a rising star that shone just a little too bright and found himself on the wrong side of the tech oligopoly. Let us all take a moment to remember the times Porter made us exhale a slight breath that could be considered a chuckle, and then continue scrolling through the timeline with a sly grin on our faces. We all have our favorite tweets of his, and they shall live on in our heads, going with us to our graves. I like to think that he's out there somewhere, watching down on us, and sending me text messages of when I purposely edit him to say the things he didn't say on the podcast. But he's in a better place now, along with other greats such as Pete, El Pulpo, and Bert. One must imagine him happy in his new home, shitposting in praise of our Holy Father. Twitter accounts come and Twitter accounts go, but their souls and spicy tweets live on forever in our hearts, minds, and souls. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, data to data. May his account rest in peace. Amen.
Amen. That was very beautiful.
Thank you. It was very heartfelt. I cried a little bit writing it the other day, but you know, I truly believe he lives on in our hearts. I feel like his spirit has been talking to me through the podcast Twitter account. Today has been a very surreal day, and I have no idea what is going on, but I keep checking, and there are tweets I did not make. And whenever I post something, there's a reply, and I reply to the things I didn't write, and it writes back to me. So maybe he's out there somewhere. I don't know. Only time will tell.
The podcast Twitter with his spiritual presence.
Yeah, I think we might need to call in an exorcist. Either
and
that
actually,
or I need to...
And it seems actually, going through it, because I saw some of these today, and in the afterlife, he went a little schizophrenic, what it looks like.
Oh no, I'm the one going schizophrenic, because I'm just finding all these tweets that I didn't make.
I mean, sure, but like, we're being haunted by a maniac, essentially.
We are. I mean, so this is an exchange that happened. So for the listeners, this will be going up on Friday. We're currently recording on Sunday because I will be out of town for pretty much most of the weekend. We'll not have time to edit. But so last night at 3 a.m, I recorded with Pause from Timeline Earth. So everyone check that out. That's also dropping today. That is a great episode. And he said, recording episode 2 of the Scarlet Thread Society tonight at the witching hour. Mood, setting, these things are important. So then the account tweets, I listened to the first episode while I was on a run, and some dude came around the corner suddenly while I was in the middle of one of the ghost stories. I just about shit myself. In conclusion, I can't wait for episode 2. Schizo posting from the podcast account, greater than sign. So I didn't write that. So I reply from the podcast account, I get so tripped up when I see tweets I didn't write, it feels like I'm going insane. And the podcast account replies to me, well, we know you didn't write it. You couldn't run to save your life. So I tweeted, get out of my head. I don't know where these tweets are coming from. So I'm the one going schizophrenic, dude. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I'm not writing these.
Huh. Yeah.
It's
I'm not sure what to make of it though. I mean, it's got to be Porter. It's got to be him.
Listen. I want to believe. I think I might have to revisit this with pause and see if Ghost can occupy Twitter accounts. But I do believe that this well and truly might be Porter reaching to us in the Twitter afterlife.
And honestly, with the high octane, high energy, on the inside Porter was. On the outside, he seemed like a very boring. I mean, hell, he's a fucking econ major.
Hey, asshole! The most interesting person on this show, and I'm an econ major. Fuck you.
That's true, but like, Porter's also getting like a weird business degree as well. So like, he's double weird.
Well,
double
he
boring.
He is now dead.
Yeah, was my bad.
So,
but yeah, no. So I feel like all that hate-filled, boredom inside just projects through the podcast Twitter.
So it's
account.
like Columbine, but with the podcast account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly like that, actually.
Or like the first season of American Horror Story, where the school shooter is a ghost. Wow.
I actually never saw that, but sounds awesome.
It's a hit or miss show. It's really based season to season.
Yeah,
depends on it, because it goes by like the story is the entire season, and then go to a different one with the same actor. So like, there's good ones, there's bad ones. The first season was pretty good, but I haven't seen it in like 2 years. The last time I watched it, I was laying in my bed naked, and a roach ran across my back. So that was probably the scariest thing.
Yikes! Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, do you guys have many cockroaches up there? I don't imagine.
I mean, I'm sure we do, but like, sure, cockroaches can survive in nuclear fallout, and a nuclear wasteland or whatever.
Nuclear.
Sure. Anyway, but surviving in like -10 degrees Fahrenheit weather with the wind chill being at -20, I just don't see it happening. So I'm sure they exist somewhere in somebody's kitchen, but not mine.
I don't think they survive in places that are really cold, because like here in Florida there's a shit ton because it's nice, hot, and humid the whole year, and they fucking fly down here. We got the palmetto bugs.
Oh jeez.
So you think there's just a cockroach on your ceiling, you throw a shoe at it, and all of a sudden, it's got wings. But it's just like, when it comes to winter, they all just disappear for a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a couple of weeks of like 50-degree weather, and then the second it's hot, they're all fucking back, dude. There was a day where I killed like 6 roaches in a row in like an hour. And you can have the cleanest house in South Florida, they're still going to be there, because fuck cockroaches.
Yeah, they're going to find their way underneath your fridge or whatever.
Yes. This is also an anti-turkey rant. Fuck cockroaches. But so
speaking of other cockroaches.
Yes.
This is going to tie into today's sponsor, actually. We've got Pizza Guy's Pizza joint. They're very kind, contacted me, at gunpoint, actually, and told me that I needed to plug them. And don't mind it. It looks like a Domino's box, but it's not, I promise. But also, speaking of cockroaches and pizza, those who believe that pineapple goes on pizza and it tastes good, I honestly hope you die a very, very painful death. And you go down to the depths of hell to be Satan's sex slave for all of eternity.
Yeah, you really might be worse than a blue check mark if you enjoy pineapple on your pizza. Because that's the problem with Hawaiian pizza. It's not the Canadian bacon on there, which is, why do they call it? It's ham.
Yeah,
but
it's literally just ham.
It's not the ham on the pizza that's the problem. It's the pineapple. Because pineapple on its own is great. It's a very tasty fruit. It's refreshing. It's got a nice little bite to it. If you eat too much of it, it will actually eat away at your tongue. But yeah, that's irrelevant. It's a very nice fruit. But just because two things work well individually doesn't mean they work well together. I love Sour Patch Kids. I love steak. Am I going to put Sour Patch Kids on my steak? Am I going to put them together in a blender? Fuck no. You don't do that shit. just because you like two things individually, pizza is great, pineapple is great, but you are well and truly mentally unhinged if you enjoy mixing these two things. I mean, I know this is a worn out debate, but if I can't believe there's still people that are on the wrong side of this debate. And it was heartbreaking to see Joshua Smith, who's such a good leader in the libertarian movement right now, be such a degenerate to eat a pizza like he did the other day.
Like, I'm sure in the Bible you can probably find somewhere, like in some of the interpretations, you can find that pineapple and pizza don't mix.
Yeah, no, I've got it right here.
God said that.
I have it right here in Ezekiel 41. ב-25 שנה לגאולתנו בראש השנה בעשור לחודש ב-14 שנה האחד אשר הקוצר העיר בעצם היום הזה הייתה עלי יד אדוני ויבא אותי שמה. When you translate that to English, it says, "He who mixes the fruit of the palm tree with the bread and cheese and the tomato sauce shall be condemned to hell forever." And I think that really just goes to show the beauty and the knowledge hidden within the Bible.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, fuck you, pineapple eaters. And speaking, you know what? Fuck it, Andy, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on.
You should know better, dude. You really should know better.
It's a shame. Joshua Smith, Andy, good libertarian, fallen to the whims of. I mean, honestly,
are they really
Satanism?
Are they really a good libertarian if they fall for such a basic trick, such as mixing fruit on their pizza?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's not even a pineapple. If you put apples on a pizza, if you put orange on a pizza, everybody would reasonably be like, yeah, that's disgusting. Oh, you eat plums on your pizza? What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. But suddenly, you get the pineapple, and it's like, oh, well, actually, with my 150 IQ and my soy lattes, I've determined that pineapple on pizza is actually delicious. No, fuck you. You are decrepit. You are disgusting. You are despicable. Yeah.
But anyway, enough of them. Let's just move on from the pineapple eaters and the other degenerates. And there was something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so actually I think this ties in really well. So I think we can all agree that pineapple pizza eaters are deserving of death. I mean, plain and simple. These are not people who should be allowed to roam the earth. They are up there with the worst of criminals, such as murderers, thieves, and jaywalkers. So I think really the issue with the death penalty is not that it's immoral, it's just that the government doesn't run it efficiently enough. But if we were to monetize executions, then this could actually be a far more efficient system and can pretty much pay for the trials to make sure that there are proper trials that go through the best means to make sure that we really are killing those who are deserving of it.
Is this insight to the next Walter Block book?
Yes, I'm actually helping him write Defending the Undefendable 5. So he's skipping 4.
Okay.
Because 4 is not a libertarian number.
Yeah.
But so basically the concept is we have to monetize executions. And I don't mean just put shareholders into it, because I mean obviously then people are just going to short the executions and then we're going to run out of money for the execution. That's not going to work. We can't short squeeze it. I don't want a Reddit taking over the execution game.
Mm-hmm. That'd be terrible.
Exactly.
Ugh.
But I'm thinking sort of make it like the circus. Have an entrance fee, have concession stands, make this really fun for the whole family. So we have to make this like the circus. It has to be a family event where on a Sunday, the whole family's coming out to watch some scumbag pineapple pizza eater get hanged. And specifically I use hanged because since there will be children at these events, we have to be very careful what kind of execution we're doing. So you can't have a beheading or a shooting squad, because that could really be traumatic for the youngins. We can have R-rated executions to get a little more brutal, but those are also going to have to cost a little more because, there's a lot more cleanup involved. It's not as simple as you put someone up on the gallows, you hang them, boom.
Mm-hmm.
I think the gallows.
It's the strip clubs for people who like gore.
Yeah, really, it's got to be for a specific niche. Because how many people want to see someone's head get chopped off? it's very limited. So you really have to bump up the prices for this because there's not a whole lot of demand.
Mm-hmm.
So, and other forms of execution, you know, they just aren't as fun because the brutal ones are fun, but it's not family friendly. And like the lethal injection, who wants to see some dude get a shot then sit there for a couple hours as he dies? That's not entertaining. You're not going to pull in any money from that. No, in reality, what we need to do is hanging, because hanging is this perfect middle ground. There's not a whole lot of cleanup. I mean, sure, the guy shits his pants when he dies, but oh well. You hang him. He's there, and you can have the children's hour after that, where they come in with, like, you hand them little wiffle ball bats. They get to play piñata with the dead guy as he's hanging there. And of course, you charge extra for that as well, because there's only so many dead people.
Right.
So it's like, it's got to be really, like, limited amount of kids. You know, so many kids, so few dead people. But you come and they play with the corpse, they take photos with it. You know, you maybe have a mascot, like some dude who dresses up in a gallows costume, and he's like Harry the Hangman. And he does a little song and dance for the kids.
That's wow.
And it's fun. You know, you watch him like dangle there, he's going and his neck just goes snap.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's fun. It's quick. You can really build it up. Like, imagine an announcer coming out in front of everybody. And it's like, come on, come all. Watch the town pineapple pizza eater get hanged. I really think there's a lot of potential here. And the proceeds don't only have to go right back into the executions. I mean, we could donate these to, like, I don't fucking know, but we can donate it.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, even for like more pettier crimes that don't require an execution necessarily, but like put them in a building where, of course, people would have to pay to get in to see the guy, and have him just like stand there and be mocked and you know, punched and kicked by the townspeople. Maybe, you know, a couple fruits or vegetables being thrown at him. You know,
yeah,
but you have
but
to
not
pay for those.
Not rotten ones.
No, completely fresh.
Yeah,
actually, the more ripe, the more hard, the more painful, the better. Actually,
yeah, chuck like fresh apples at them.
And you know, of course, you have to pay for all of it. In fact, you have to buy the apples, you have to buy the entrance fee.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is all about monetizing it. This is not a fucking charity show. I mean, sure, we can have a charity show where like you bring in local orphans and you let them kill a guy for fun like once a year, but maybe on like Christmas. You know, like on Thanksgiving, the president pardons a turkey. On like Christmas, the orphans come in and put a guy to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think...
like all the orphans come in with like baseball bats and shit and just start beating them to death.
Hey, okay, kids, so today we are going to go kill the local pedophile. He raped 50 children. I know some of you in the crowd, he raped you too. Come on, kids. We got the baseball bats with nails in it. Woo!
Yeah,
and then you just have them all beat the guy to death. Maybe like castrate him first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think there's so many opportunities here. Like, you can have local convicts and dunk tanks. But like,
and you have all the kids like line up to play, like throw the baseball or whatever.
Yeah, and instead of like water, it's rubbing alcohol. So like that's for the local jewel thief. So instead of like just going to prison, he like gets whipped first by some people, and then like you throw him in a dunk tank full of rubbing alcohol. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just the possibilities are endless. So I think like the American penal system, if this is the reform that it needs, I think this is really what it's missing. And I think a concept like this would really make David Friedman proud, because, you know, it's not that the wars are immoral, it's that they cost too much.
Exactly.
So it's not that the prison system is immoral, it's just it's not efficient. If we just well and truly privatized the prisons, and we open it up to the public for them to all come in and have their fun, I mean, this could outgrow the movie theaters.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, hell, we don't even need to like have prisons per se. Just like, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, this like, could really be like this. It could really be like the circus. So, you know, like when you see the Ringling Brothers, I think if they're not bankrupt, right. And like they come into town and they have like the lions and shit and the cages on the trucks. And it's like, yeah, right. This is what you do. You have a Ringling truck driving through town and picks up all the local convicts and it takes them around the country. And those who have to die, they die in that town. And then like the rest of them, they just go around the country being tortured by people. Exactly.
Imagine how few criminals there would be if we had a system like that.
We just displayed them.
I think these are $1 million ideas. So I just need to start.
Dude.
I need to start lobbying like local congressmen to make it legal for me to do this, because apparently there's a stupid concept of like civil liberties or whatever the fuck that is, and civil rights.
What?
And
Cruel and unusual punishment? I'm sorry, that doesn't exist.
Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, you're putting them in rape cages. I just want people to throw fruits at them. Who's really the bad guy here?
Seriously. I mean, yeah. $1 million idea.
Dude, I think I'm going to launch a GoFundMe for this. Like, first I need legal funds.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like at some point you'd need to lawyer up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Somebody out there is going to be crying and be like, oh, these guys, they were, throwing fruits at me. It's like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah, the ACLU is going to come in.
Raped.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
Some, like, in the prison showers because you accidentally dropped your bar of soap, and some fucking fruitcake decided that your ass was finer than the rest.
Yeah, and it's like the ACLU is going to come and be like, oh, this is racist. It's just a disproportionate amount of black. It's like, oh, fuck you. I don't give a shit about you guys. And it's ironic telling the Jew to lawyer up. You'd think I'd be able to defend myself in court. But I've been advised by several people it's not a good idea, so I do need some lawyers for this. So, I mean, listeners, if any of you know a lawyer that would do this pro bono for me because they really want to see, like, a petty thief get apples thrown at him, I mean, hit me up. My DMs are always open.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, speaking of the ACLU, so you saw what I sent in the fucking chat the other day, right?
I think so. I forgot if I did.
Let me pull it up.
Was it what you're... Oh, yeah, this one. That's...
Yeah, so
What?
It was... From the ACLU, they took screenshots of their Twitter post and posted it on Instagram. And breaking, we're calling on President Biden to pause all federal government use of face recognition technology. The tech is flawed, biased against people of color, women, trans people, and more. And then they go into, even if face recognition tech worked perfectly, it would be a civil liberties nightmare, giving the government the ability to track us to houses of worship, protests, healthcare appointments, intimate partners' homes, harming our rights to privacy, speech, and association. And face recognition technology would surely be used to exacerbate over-policing of communities of color, immigrant communities, poor communities, and others already bearing the brunt of the criminal enforcement system. And it's like, this is what you're leading with? This is what you're fucking leading with? It's racist and sexist and not a fucking Orwellian nightmare of the government being able to track us everywhere and pick off dissidents. Oh, it's gonna be bad for the trans people.
Look, it's gotta be. It has to be a race thing. I mean, it has to be. It's what they're,
Yeah. What would the ACLU do if they couldn't turn everything into a racist issue? It's not like this is absolutely horrifying that the state that drone strikes weddings has access to facial recognition technology. No, that's not the issue. That's secondary. The real issue is this could disproportionately harm minorities and trans people. Like, I am fucking astounded that people actually take this, not only take this organization seriously, but along with like the Southern Poverty Law Center, they like take their word as fucking gospel. And build like corporate policy around the ACLU, build government policy around the ACLU. You have basic white teenage bitches posting on their Instagram stories shit from the ACLU. And it's like, we exist in an Orwellian nightmare right now. We are like halfway between Huxley and Orwell. When I was driving to see my girlfriend a couple weeks ago, there was a sign, a billboard on the highway from the FBI asking people to, if they know anyone that was involved in the Capitol protests, riots, whatever the fuck they want to call it, the unguided tour, then to turn them in. And it's like, we are living in, this is quickly turning into a Soviet nightmare. So to give these people facial recognition technology is absolutely horrifying.
Oh yeah.
And the ACLU's biggest concern is trannies. Oh, who gives a flying fuck about the trannies? Like, this is something that really astounds me. This is like less than 1% of the population, but they're a fucking talking point. And protect black trans women. What?
Yeah. Also, it's really funny though, because they, as much as they are like against oppression, they really glorify it. Like they just revel in it.
Oh, of course.
Also, FBI. I would actually like to report somebody for the Capitol guidance tours. I'd like to report the FBI.
I would like to report Nancy Pelosi because she was president that day in Capitol Hill.
That's true. That's true.
And I believe
AOC.
she had a part.
She was there too.
Allegedly.
I'd like to report AOC.
I hate how many of our episodes have involved the Capitol Hill thing because it just
Seriously.
feels like such old news, but at the same time, it's the gift that keeps on giving, and there's so many good jokes to make out of it.
Seriously, dude. Also, speaking of good jokes to make,
What, trannies?
no, about black people.
Oh!
You saw that clip of Joe Biden talking about black people and how they can't use technology, apparently.
I did not, but I did see him apologize for the Chinese genocide of the
God.
Uyghur community.
Wait, that's right. Yeah, no. So Biden comes out and he's talking about how his administration needs to help poor minorities, because they can't grasp the concept of the internet or something like that, and they need help with technology. And it's like, just call at this point you might as well just call them fucking monkeys. Like,
I mean, dude, it's always been like that. Look at voter ID laws whenever that shit comes up, and they're like, that's going to disproportionately harm the black community. Are you
Yes.
telling me the black community doesn't know how to go down to the DMV and get a driver's license?
yeah, seriously. Like,
They're too stupid to get on the bus? It's absolutely hilarious.
I love it. The whole like race thing is just, if you see it for what it truly is, it's just in reverse. Like, oh god.
Yeah, we've circled back because originally you had the white man's burden, where the white man was so smart and educated and had to spread that with the world, and then you get to really like the vicious racism, and now we're right back to like the white man's burden, where the white man has to use his privilege to help the poor minorities that are too stupid and incapable of doing it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like that's why if Stratty were here, he would agree that like Malcolm X is leagues better than Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, 100%.
Because Malcolm X was just like, well, fuck the white man. Let's do our own things and build strong communities, build economic networks. But now if you were to suggest that, like, it's such a boomer conservative point, but literally, if you were to suggest what Malcolm X was saying, you would probably be called a racist.
Mm-hmm. And it's ridiculous because it's like, hold on. So I'm racist because I want people to have autonomy within their community.
Yeah. No, God
Sounds
forbid you have
great.
autonomy.
Like,
the only
what?
way you can have the only way you can suggest autonomy is if you frame it as, well, black people need their own safe space away from white people, so we need segregated areas.
Yeah, that's right. You need to use the PC progressive language in order to get the point across. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, black people should stick to their own."
Yeah, you can't. You can't say Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Yeah.
But dude,
Man.
I love how Ted Cruz going to Cancun is news. Like, out of all the things a politician can do, that is probably one of the least awful things. It's terrible optics for him, but I mean, come on,
Oh,
Ted,
yeah, 100%.
take more vacations. All of you, please take a permanent vacation in Cancun. I will gladly pay my taxes if it means you people do nothing.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm sure Ted Cruz is a hard worker, kind of. It was probably a well-deserved vacation. You know?
I mean, just stay there as long as you want, Ted. Bring all the other congressmen with you. Like, just go vacation in Cancun for the rest of your lives. It's fine. We'll make do over here in the United States. It's not a problem.
We don't need you. We're fine. We'll do just fine. Please, just
That's
get the
news.
fuck out.
That's news, but Biden's saying that it's okay that the Chinese have concentration camps because there's it's different cultures, man. It's a different culture. It's like, it was fine.
Boy.
It was fine when the Germans killed my great grandparents because like it was just a different culture.
Yeah, it was. It was. Just,
It was fine when they lynched a black dude. I mean, the South just had a different culture.
it's
Come
just a
on.
different culture, man. Like,
It was fine when South Africa killed all those white people. It's just, oh wait, that one actually was fine according to these people.
yeah, according to these people, yeah, that is fine. Like, Rhodesia will never die. That's all I'm saying.
Not in our hearts. But yeah, and then Cuomo. Well, apparently Cuomo actually might get impeached in New York. Don't hold your breath for that, but
Really?
even the
Okay.
Democrats are
I mean,
getting on board with it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because he's a very unlikable guy.
Apparently women
Nobody
love him.
fucking likes. Well, okay.
Women loved him. I mean, he's a bachelor right now, and he opened up his DMs and he got flooded with like thousands of women simping for him.
Oh God.
And it's disgusting. It's that and Fauci. So
Jesus.
many women have been simping for Fauci.
Fauci?
Yes,
Dude,
dude. On
but he
Amazon, they were selling a Fauci thong.
Oh my God. No.
Yes.
Dude,
So,
Fauci looks like a fucking. I mean, he looks like he's like 100, but he's been drinking adrenochrome, so he's got like the complexion of a 70-year-old, but you can tell that he's probably 100.
He looks like
Seriously,
a fucking
dude.
mall rat. But I don't. Women.
19th.
What the fuck can I
Wasn't-
say? Just
was a
women.
mistake. I mean, you can't repeat it enough. It's
It really was.
taxation is theft. Look, 19th Amendment was a mistake, and like you can say taxation is theft all you want, but the real truth here is the 19th should be reverted.
Yeah. No, I'm really sick of like the taxation is theft is just something that will get you 1,000 tweets, 1,000 retweets, and like 2,000 likes if you're a pretty woman on Twitter. But like, you know what? Maybe I would simp for an e-girl, a libertarian e-girl, if she said repeal the 19th. Like, just maybe. I know it would disappoint Future, but like, at some point, maybe the internalized misogyny is worth encouraging. I don't know. It's really, that is for scholars greater than I, because I've done a lot of good work in the scholarly field. I wasn't the one that came up with the height to
Right.
dick ratio theory, but like I've really expounded on it and taken it to great places. And I've like went into sexuality theory on like when is something gay. So it's like I've done a lot of great work, but I think the sim question is really should be left up to a scholar greater than I. Like, is it okay? Would it be simping if you simp for a girl that says repeal the 19th?
I mean, to be honest, I
know.
don't think so, because the negative of simping and the positive of the woman saying repeal the 19th, they kind of cancel each other out. So it's kind of a neutral thing there.
It could be, man. If Porter was
Seriously.
alive, he would really be able to help us with this one. I think this one
Pretty
is
good
right
at
up his
figuring that
alley.
Stuff out.
He is, man. Fuck, rest in peace. I'm sad every single day.
Dicks out for Porter.
I'm gonna tweet that right now.
Hashtag dicks out for Porter. Oh my God. Yeah, seriously. But yeah, no.
I almost wrote dick spit for Porter
dick spit.
because I typed it too fast.
Oh God. Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
no, I
go
mean,
tweet
and-
that
and I
real
mean,
quick.
And I think every single and this is not even something like, the taxation is theft line is only really like prevalent to libertarians that get it. I mean, not even just to libertarians, just the ANCAPs and other, forms of anarchists. But the whole 19th Amendment should be repealed. That's something that we can cross ideological boundaries.
And I think it can really unite the entire compass because like mutualists, Proudhon was a giant misogynist,
He was.
and like the alt-right, obviously they're gonna be on board with this.
Right.
And then,
and
like-
also, I think Proudhon was also anti-Semitic, so like there can be some ties there too.
Yeah. Oh no, Proudhon was a lot of things. So it's like really the only thing wrong with Proudhon was his economic theory.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, say what you want about Proudhon, but he had a lot of right ideas.
Hmm?
He said the same about Frederick Bastiat. Yeah, like his economics were right, but he sort of gives me simp vibes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because he was French. I don't know. I don't like the French.
Look, French people are just naturally simpy, and so you'll get like the occasional like outlier like Proudhon, but like the rest of them were pretty simps. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, the conservatives might have put on the stereotype that women shouldn't be, but like, look, they're from the time of like, that was around the Victorian age, right, where women looked pretty.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Because like if you look at the paintings, and they were pretty goddamn ugly in the Victorian era.
I mean they were, but like they dressed up all nice stuff, right? So like,
I guess, yeah.
But I
Maybe,
want
like,
I want
petticoats.
women to be like, in the mud, just absolutely horrifying.
You really want to return a monkey, huh? Ooh, ooh, ee, ah, ah, ooh, ee, 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 ooh, ooh, ooh.
I've been thinking about it just a little bit.
I've been thinking too, man. It really makes you think about
Return.
the random chimp event.
It does.
Yeah.
Speaking of-
I mean, do you know the random chimp event had one spike in 2011, and that was the first time it was ever researched. Then it died again until last year.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's sort of dead again, but the real ones don't forget the random chimp event.
And I mean,
We all know it's coming.
The question is when's it coming back? When are we having it again? Because like the last one was 2011, the next one was last year. Was there any beforehand?
No, that was the first time it was ever researched in 2011. So there was someone with foresight. He knew what was coming. So it really makes you think, what did he know? We need to track down that man. 'Cause I'm ready for the random chimp event. I will return a monkey immediately. I will not resist.
And I hope all of our listeners would do the same. Otherwise, you're not a true listener.
Yeah, no, you're not an Insurrection Inc. faggot. I still need to find a better term for our listeners. Maybe Insurrection Inc. queers.
Slaves.
But, possibly. Wage slaves. Oh, yes, our wage
slaves.
slaves. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
All right,
it is.
wage slaves. If you're not ready for the random chimp event, you're not a real wage slave.
Exactly.
Listeners of this show should be ready to return a monkey at any given moment. We are the random chimp event. This is why we have our dicks out for Porter, because Porter was the second coming of Harambe. And if you are not ready for the random chimp event, and you might be listening and going, well, Harambe was a gorilla, you stupid Jew. Well, fuck you. Do you think the chimps care? Ape unity. Apes together strong.
Exactly. I mean, and look no further. Our biblical story that has been prophesized through Planet of the Apes.
Have you read your scripture today? Yeah, man, I got my Planet of the Apes extended universe literature right here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I read theory, and it's just like a written script of Planet of the Apes.
Oh no. Which version though? Like that's the question. Are we going like old school, like the 60s?
The King
Or are
James
we-
version.
King James.
The King James Planet of the Apes. The King Kong. The King Kong version.
Dude, King Kong, dude. That's our equivalent to Jesus. It's King Kong.
I really think King Kong is gonna win against Godzilla.
Yeah. I hope so at least.
I mean, you are an absolute soy boy if you think King Kong's nuclear beam that he spits out is going to have any effect on King Kong. Why? Because King Kong has ape energy. And if you think that's more powerful than nuclear energy, or that nuclear energy is more powerful than ape energy, you are fucking wrong.
Mm-hmm. Also, does Godzilla have a woman? Yep. No, he doesn't.
No, that's what a Chad King Kong is. He just kidnapped a bitch. His dick would not even fit in her. His dick is bigger than her. But he was like, pretty woman, me take.
And then she fell in love.
Yeah. It's like, this suave motherfucker kidnapped a bitch and gave her Stockholm Syndrome in a day. He can't even fuck her. He didn't do it for the sex. He did it because he has ascended past fucking. So, like, this really is our Jesus. I'm going to hell.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, Yeah, dude, I read theory, and it's the entire script of the B movie.
Oh God. Oh no. Awful. Truly awful.
Dude,
And
so
there, you'll find those people on Instagram, 100%.
You will.
Yeah.
But, dude, the other day when I recited a bit from the steamed ham script when Andy was on, I tested myself while editing, and I still remember about 99% of it.
Really?
Yes. And it goes like this. I've decided to spare all of you from hearing me recite steamed hams. I've cut that part out, so let's just get back into the show. I keep fucking it up. I'm not ready for this tonight. I needed to prepare, but anyway, yes. For the most part, I can do about 90% of the script by heart, and I have not seen it in a couple of months.
You know what? I applaud you.
I can also do Lamar Rose Franklin.
Oh,
to a T.
That's honestly the best roast of the 21st century.
It was. Sup, can a little come up in your crib? Man, fuck you. I'll see you at work. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe you got rid of that yee-ass haircut you got. You got some bitches on your dick. Maybe better yet, Tanisha call your dog ass here. Stop fucking with that brain surgeon lawyer she fucking with. Nigga. What?
Oh, man. And of course, they just absolutely milked the fuck out of that.
I know.
There's so many different variations of it. Like,
dude, I was on that one since day one.
Oh my God. Like, there was the Kermit one. They did it in real life, like the two actual actors.
Oh my God, yes, that was so fucking good.
That was good. That was good. That was amazing. And then, of course, they had, like, so many other different versions.
Dude, the best one was the one where it spinned off into the Los Santos School of Roastology.
Yeah. So many good moments with that. So many good moments.
Dude, there were some... Oh, there's so many good ones. There was like Lamar roast Franklin, but Lamar's Dutch, and instead of saying nigga, it goes tulip.
I don't get that because I'm not Dutch.
Because the Dutch love tulips.
Oh, weird.
They had an entire economy centered around tulips for like a decade.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yes.
Why?
They were so popular. But the issue is tulips have a very short shelf life, even for flowers. So their economy crashed very hard off the tulips. It was a very weird point. The Dutch had a very weird point in history between, like, overthrowing the Spanish and the French occupation where they ate their prime minister. They killed their prime minister and ate him. And they built an entire economy around tulips.
What is it? What is it with you people?
I don't know. And then they invented a stock market. So you can thank the Dutch for GME.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, the Dutch have a very weird history.
And
they settled New York. It was originally New Amsterdam.
Really?
Yes. And then they sold it to the English.
Why?
I don't know, but that's why a lot of, like, places in New York have Dutch names.
Huh.
So, the Bronx is actually also from Dutch. The Hudson River was, like, named after some Dutch guy. There are a lot of things.
Bullshito is still... Yeah, he is.
Yes,
That's
he is
right.
Dutch.
He did get... Oh, no, I know he's Dutch. Unfortunately. No, he got nuked a couple weeks ago.
Yes, he did.
I just realized I wasn't following his other account.
Very unfortunate. Bullshito was our ticket into the inner circle, so eternally grateful to him for that. But I hate him for being Dutch.
Right.
I'm a self-hating Jew and I'm a self-hating Dutch.
You're just self-hating.
Yeah.
Jay, is there things you need to talk about? Do we need to talk about this?
Well, yes. I still feel better than most Americans because I'm first generation, so it's not like I'm 1/10 Dutch.
Yeah.
No, I'm like 50% Dutch.
You're 50% Dutch, 50% are Argentinian Jew.
No, 50% Dutch, 25% German, 25% French, 100% Aryan. Sieg Heil! 1488, y'all.
If you already weren't on the ADL's hit list, you are now.
Dude, in one of our earlier episodes, I got Mel to say 1488 Burger.
Wait,
Were you
really?
on that one? Were you on that one?
No, he's not on the one that Mel was on.
Fuck, who was with us on that one?
Which one was it? Was
shit.
it the first time you had her on? Or was it?
We only had her on once.
Oh, okay.
But it was.
It was a while ago because this was during the summer.
George Floyd in prison abolition.
Yeah.
So.
June.
Oh, that was
20th.
Peter. Peter was on with us.
Oh, and he got her to say.
No, I got her because
got
she was
her
like,
to
if
say-
you're listening this far, tweet something at us, anything, and I'm like 1488 burger. And they're like, yeah, tweet that. And then a couple weeks later, she comes out of her like little hiatus to DM me on Instagram and on Discord, and is like, hey, so I actually have real life friends that listen to the show. Can you like edit that out for me?
Oh.
And I was
Dear.
like, yeah, sure. Oh,
Wait.
my fucking God.
She has friends that listen to Insurrection Inc.
No, like that
Oh,
episode.
she was just plugging it to her friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but dude, Mel is like a power broker in the podcasting game.
She really is.
Like
Like,
she
she
was with
just-
Fatcast since day one.
Mm-hmm.
She is like the Mel is the Nancy Pelosi of podcasts.
She's just kind of there, always like influencing it in some way.
Yeah, she is the power broker. She is the power broker. She's the Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Melosi.
Yeah. And she's yeah, dude. She's got too much power. Honestly, we need to start a coup.
Dude, Mel really is just the fucking power broker of the community. Because look at what she created on Discord that you got booted from for being a kid. Fuck you. 5 more months till you can join again, asshole.
Yeah, right. Seriously. And by start a coup, I wasn't talking about Mel.
What were you talking about? The United States?
Nancy Pelosi specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But man, I should actually DM them about letting you back in because like a couple of people have taken Lent off from the server, so it's a little slower.
Oh, really?
And I'll see like, hey, so how about re-adding Aiden?
Oh boy, that'd be an interesting conversation. Just be like, hey,
It would.
you remember Aiden?
Yeah, it's like, we'll just like take away his
Server's
perms for the not
boring.
safe for work channels.
I mean, I already have that because for some reason Discord, because like I did have, perms for not safe for work or whatever, but for some reason, Discord like just reverted it, even though I don't have. I think on Discord like I'm like 18 or 19 with Discord.
That's a little scary.
Like I lied about my age, obviously.
That's a
with
little scary
Discord.
that they know.
But yeah, and then they know, and it's just like, okay. And in order to get it back, I have to send like my ID with my face in it, and I'm like, nope. I'm fine with not seeing titties on Discord. That's
Yeah,
fine.
you don't want the Discord furries and pedos and the
Seriously.
mod team to know who you
Yeah,
are.
No, I'm okay. I don't need to see Discord titties. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, not like you're seeing titties anyway.
No. No.
It's fucking Wisconsin in dead of winter. You can get a bitch and still not see your titties.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, who's gonna pop them open? It's like fucking 20 degrees here right now.
Her nipples would immediately get icicles on it.
Immediately, yeah. Let's see here. 28 degrees. Nice. And it's snowing. Let's
Christ. Oh man, but yeah, I feel like we're coming to a close here. We've sort of exhausted ourselves. So anything else you want to get out before we finish up, or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, pineapple eaters, fuck you. On pizza. Pineapple on pizza eaters, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It.
Follow the podcast account on Instagram and Twitter. You might be able to catch the Ghost of Porter if you follow us on Twitter. Not saying ghosts are real, but he might be out there. So really keep your eyes out for that one. If you're on Apple, leave a rating, leave a review, share the show with your friends. If you're on YouTube and Odyssey, like, subscribe, and comment. Those things really help. And we'll catch you guys next time.